Hi guys, my name is Ravi and welcome to a set on games and tournaments here. So this is a bit advanced level set on games and tournaments, okay, of knockout tournament. So we have already discussed this knockout tournament concept in the earlier games videos. Okay, so like here, so what we discussed in that case actually is, so this is a full question actually, okay. So what we discussed in that case actually is, for knockout tournament to be successful, all the numbers has to be in the form of 2 raised to n, right? Or complete 2 raised to n form for all the complete knockout tournaments, right? For example, just remind you what we discussed here, then we can move to this set. Okay, so I told this total number of match, okay, or total number of players, okay, generally is in the form of 2 raised to n, right? For example, at n is equal to 7, we have total 128 players. So how the tournament goes on, like the match is always played like 1 versus 128. So there are 128 players, they're ranked 1 to 28. That is called seed in this tournament based question. Seed 1, seed 2, seed 3, like that. Okay, the seed means rank actually. So 1 versus 128, 2 versus 127, 3 versus 126, like that match goes on. Okay, so if the match goes on like this, the last match is what? That is 64 versus 65, correct? So the sum of rank here is always like, in this is first round, okay. So in first round, the sum of rank is always 129. 129 is sum of ranks. If there are like 2 raised to or 128 players, okay, sum of rank is 129, okay. Then out of these players, as a knockout tournament, so 64 players will be knocked out, and next 64 players will advance to next round. Okay, next round. So in round 2, how the matches goes like? So in round 2, match goes like now it is scheduled like 1 versus 64, 2 versus 63 and all, right? But it is like, if a higher ranked player gets beaten by a lower ranked player, that is called an upset actually in this tournament. Okay, so when a higher ranked player gets beaten by a lower ranked player, that means a lower ranked player beats a higher ranked player, it becomes an upset. For example, in this 1 versus 120, rank 1 versus rank 128 match, if 128 player is the winner, so now what will happen? In rank 1 player is knocked out, and 128 will replace 1 in all the remaining match rounds, right? That means here the match will be what? Instead of 1, it will be a match of 128 versus 164, because 1 is knocked out now. Okay, so in scheduling, now 128 is replacing rank 1 actually, right? Similarly, let's say if this rank 3 here, okay, if rank 3 here gets beaten by 126, as 126 rank is the winner, right? So in that case, in the next round schedule, 3 will replaced by 126. So match was scheduled as 3 versus 62, but match will happen like 126 versus 62. Right? It is a general form actually, right? And then what I told, 2, if there are 128 players, okay, then number of matches will be n minus 1. That means simply 127 matches, right? Why? Because if there are 128 players and it's a knockout tournament, so knockout tournament means if there are 128 players, 1 is the winner, 1 winner will be there, okay, and next 127 players will be out. So after playing 1 match, 1 player will be out. So I have to play 127 matches. We have to play 127 matches in the tournament to knock out 127 players. Okay, that means number of matches is simply 127. So after 127 matches, 127 player now get knocked out. So last player, he is the winner of the tournament, right? So total number of matches is number of players minus 1. In any knockout tournament, total number of matches is number of players minus 1. Okay. Now, so knowing all this concept, let's come to this set actually. 75 players who took part in an invitational tournament are seeded from 1 to 75. The tournament is played on a knockout basis such that a player, once he loses the match, gets eliminated while the winner advances to the next round. Okay. In the first round, players seeded 1 to n were given buys such that there were no buys from second round till the end of tournament. Okay. A player is said to have received a buy when he advances to the next round, set the second round without playing a match in the previous round. That is the first round in this case. A match is said to be an upset if a lower seeded player, say seed 15, beats a higher seeded player, say seed 1. Okay. So, now, understand this concept here. This is a game of this 75 players are playing here, right? 75 players are playing here, and some player will get a buy. Okay. And it's given that such that there were no buys from the second round till the end of the tournament, right? That means till the second round, till the end of tournament, it was a perfect tournament. Perfect tournaments means number of players will be in the form of 2 raised to n. To that satisfy that part. 1 versus 64, 1 versus 128, 2 versus 127, like that, right? So if it is a perfect knockout tournament, so in a perfect knockout tournament, number of players is in the form of 2 raised to n. Okay. So now you can see here that if there are 75 players here, okay, if there are 75 players here, how many players are given a bye, right? So from the next round, it got to be a perfect tournament. That means now in the next round, number of players will be in the form of 2 raised to n. So if the number of players is in the form of 2 raised to n from the next round, that means if there are 75 players here, okay. So if there are 75 players here, what will happen now? See. So if there are 75 players here, out of 75 players, in next round, it has to be in the form of 2 raised to n. 2 raised to n form from next round. Okay. So total it has to be in the form of 2 raised to n from the next round. Okay. So a number before 75 in the form of 2 raised to n is equal to 64. Right. That means I can say that 11 players were given by, right? So get it. If numbers less than 75 is in the form of 2 raised to n is 64 and then 32 also, obviously, right? So first you see for 64, then you'll automatically understand that why it is not 32, why it is 64, right? So see, for 75 players playing this tournament, actually, for 75 players playing this tournament, okay. First thing is, what is the number of matches? First thing, what is the number of matches? So number of matches will be equal to n minus 1, simply, right? That is 74. So total number of matches will be 74 in this tournament, right? First thing, okay? Because same conduct, if there are 75 players and it's a knockout tournament, right? There has to be only one winner in the last. So I need to knock out 74 players. To knock out 74 players, we need 74 matches. That's it, right? So 74 is the answer for number of matches, right? Now let's come to this part, right? How many? 11 players were given a bye. That means 64 players has to be in the next round. Okay. So if 64 players has to be in the next round, that means 11 players will play the match, and how many players will get the bye? 53 players will get the bye. Okay. I know it's a bit a new concept for all of you, right? I'll try to explain it again. Okay. So why 53 players will get bye? Because out of 75 players, right? Since in next round, the total we have to have 64 players, because I told you from next round it has to be a perfect knockout tournament. In any perfect knockout tournament, total number of players has to be in the form of 2 raised to n. I explained it to follow that part. 1 versus 64, 2 versus 63, right? So in first round, 32 matches. Out of 32 matches, 32 players will be the winner. In second round, 32 to 16, then 16 to 8, then 8 to 4, then 4 to 2, then 2 to 1. Okay. So I hope all of you have watched my previous games and tournaments video on knockout. Okay. So now there are 75 players here. So out of 75 players here, I need in next round, I need 64 players. That means 11 players will only play the match. So if 11 players will only play the match, but 11 players will not play it alone, right? 11 players I have to knock out 11 players actually, right? I have to knock out these 11 players out of the tournament from the first round. So in the first round, how many matches will play? So for 11 players I have to knock out. The number of matches I need is how much? I need 22 matches actually. So to knock out 11 players, I need 22 matches, right? So 22 matches means I need how many players to play? 22 players to play this 22 matches. So if 22 players will play this 22 matches, right? So 11 will be the winner, and next 11 will advance to next round. Okay, so 53 players got bye. Okay, 53 players got bye, and next 22 players will play the first round. Okay, out of that 11 will be the winner. 11 will be the winner. 11 will be the winner. Okay, and these 11 will go to next round. So in next round we have now 53 plus 11. In next round we have 53 plus 11, total 64 players, and that is in the form of 2 raised to n. Right, I hope it is clear. Right, so obviously now you can sense it can't be 32. It can't be 32 because for getting it 32 I need to knock out 43 players. Right, so if I have to knock out 43 players, it is not possible actually. Right, because number of matches only 74 here. Okay, now so let's answer these few questions. First few questions we can answer on this concept actually. Okay, so this first one is, what is the total number of matches in a tournament? Right, so total number of matches in the tournament is 74. Okay, how many players were given a bye in the first round? Right, so LS 53 players were given bye in the first round. So answer is none of these. Okay, 53 players were given bye in the first round. Okay, I hope it is clear. First two questions, right? Now let's come to question 3 and question 4 here. Yeah, what is question 3 now? If the player seeded 1 was upset in the quarterfinals or rounds of 8, okay, then what could be the seeding of the player who caused that upset? Now get this general concept, right? Again, as explained in the previous games video also, we'll explain here also, right? If the player seeded 1 was upset in the quarterfinals, so what will happen? So now there are 64 players, right? So if there are now 64 players, so for 64 players the matches will happen like this: 1 versus 64, right? 2 versus 63, 3 versus 62, like that. So it's total 32 versus 33. This is for round 1. Okay, in round 2, 32 players will advance, right? It is like 1 versus 32, then 2 versus 31, like that. Okay, till 16 versus 17. Okay, this is round 2. So get the point, right? Any upset, the player will be replaced. Okay, if there's any upset, that player will be replaced. But in general, this is a funda. In round 3, so round 3 is always what is round 3 is? In round 3, 1 to 16 will qualify. So 1 to 16 will qualify. The match will happen like 1 versus 16, 2 versus 15, like that. Okay, and lastly 7 versus 8. This is round 3. This is round of 16. What I want is this round of 16. What I want is round of 8. So once I want round of 8 actually, so what will happen in quarterfinals? Just remember what funda you remember here. In first round, the sum of ranks, okay, sum of ranks is equal to 60. Sorry, in second round here, second round, because first round is over. That was played by 22 players. Okay, now this second round. In second round, sum of ranks is equal to 65. Okay. Second round, sum of ranks equal to 65. Now, in third round, this is 65, right? 1 plus 64, 65, 65. Okay. In third round, the sum of ranks is equal to how much? 33. General basis, 33. 1 plus 32, 33. 31 plus 32, 33. Right. 16 plus 17, 33. First, third round, 33. Right. So similarly, just what is this here? So in second round, there are 64 players, so sum of rank 65, like that. So now if I see this part here, now see what happened in quarterfinals now. So in quarterfinals now, what will happen is, see, if there are 64 players here, so in quarterfinals, how many? In the round of 8. Round of 8 means quarterfinal. Okay, in round of 8, what is sum of ranks actually? So how the matches happening? So I can similarly say that in round of 8, what is the round of 8? It will be 5th round. Second round, 64. Third round, 32 players. Fourth round, 16 players. Fifth round, 8 players. Right. So in fifth round, sum of ranks is equal to 9. Because how the matches will happen? 1 versus 8. 2 versus 7. 3 versus 6 and 4 versus 5. 4 matches in the round of 8. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Sum of rank is always 9. So if the player seeded 1 was upset in the quarterfinals, then what will happen in that case? If he was upset in the quarterfinals, okay, in that case 8 would have beaten first. Okay, so if the tournament was absolutely perfect, right, that means all the higher ranked player beats the lower ranked player, then in 5th round match scheduled was actually 1 versus 8. Okay, and in 5th round the seeded 1 was upset in the quarterfinals, right? So what could be the seeding of the player who caused that upset? So that seeding could be 8, but there could be further possibilities here, because in this case the match could be 1 versus somebody else also, no, right? Because it's not necessary that 8 is winning all the rounds from the first round itself, right? So 8 can have lose the matches also, right? So for that, what we do, what is the general process for it, right? So we just go back to, whenever you get a new number, go back to first round. Okay, so if I go back to first round here, so 8 will play whom? In first round the sum of rank is 65. So in first round it was 8 versus 57, right? So in first round 8 could have beaten 57. So here 57 can also come. Correct. Then getting it right. So this is how you go, right? In first round 8 will go, 8 can beat 57. Okay. Suppose this 8 ranked player won this 5th round. This is 5th round, right? In 4th round. Okay. So always what you do, you start from this previous round always, right? So just for understanding, okay, this 57 is first round, that's fine. Okay. But I do not consider 57 right now. I'll just start with the previous round here, right? So in previous round, like in 5th round, it is this one. In 4th round, what are sum of ranks in 4th round? In first round, sum of rank 65. In second round, sum of rank 65. In third round, sum of rank 33. In 4th round, okay, in 4th round. So what will happen in the previous round? In previous round, it was in 4th round, what is sum of ranks? So third round, sum of rank 33. So in 4th round, the sum of ranks will be how much? 17. Okay. So 8 will play 9 in the previous round, right? So in previous round, it was 8 versus 9. And if 9 would have won this match, here 9 can also play 1, because it was an upset. If 9 was won that match, so in the next round, 9 player rank 9 will play instead of 8. So it could be 1 versus 9 also. Okay, fine. Okay. Then if I go further, right? Then player ranked 8 would have played which rank play in the previous round? This is for 4th round. So in the 3rd round, this 8 would have played 25 here, right? This 8 would have played, because sum of ranks is 33. So in 3rd round, 8 would have played 25. So if 8 would have played 25, and if 25 would have beaten 8 at that time, okay, then here it can be match of 1 versus 25 also. You're getting it, right? This is how you go about this. Okay, so you go on the previous round. So similarly in second round, the sum of ranks was 65. So it could be 8 versus 57. It was 8 versus 57 in second round. Okay. So if it was 8 versus 57 in second round, and 57 kept on winning from there, it is 1 versus 57 also. Right. So this is the way to do it, right? This is the way to do it. Just go backward. Whenever you get a new number, go backward, right? So maximum in CAT, so they want to take this concept, right? So what they can do is they can ask for 4, 5. You can do 4, 5 times and then look at the options actually, right? That would be enough. You can't do it for 20 times because there's so many values, right? Once 8 is finished, you can start with 9 also. Okay. So like if 9 in first round, the 9 would have played whom? So in first round, sum of rank was 56. So in first round, it was 9 versus 56, right? So if 56 would have beaten 9, so in place of 9, 56 can also come here. There are so many possibilities here, right? There are so many possibilities, okay? So that's why don't look for all the possibilities. Do it for 4, 5 times and then look at the options, right? So from the options, what we can mark is 8 and 9 both. So we can directly mark more than one of the above, right? CAT doesn't ask nonsense questions. They can't ask that, do it for 20 times, right? They want to check that concept. They can check for 4, 5, 6 times, 6 times, that maximum, right? So what is the answer? More than one of the above. I hope it is clear, right? I hope it is clear, right? Okay. Now let's move to next question. So if the player seeded 15 won the tournament, then what would be the minimum number of upsets in the tournament, right? What would be the minimum number of upsets in the tournament? Okay. Now, if I look at this part here, what is the minimum number of upsets in the tournament, right? What we can see here is, I don't have to consider anything else in this part. Okay. That basically means that 15 till the round in which 15 was the highest ranked player, till the round in which 15 was the highest ranked player, till that round, it was not an upset, right? So like in second round, first round only 22 players played. First round only 22 players played. That was for 53 players were given by. In second round, 64 players played, right? So in this round, the sum of rank is always 65. So it was 15 versus 50. It's not an upset for 15, right? In third round, 32 players played. Sum of rank was 33. So in this 15 versus 18 happened, right? So again 15 should have won because 15 has won the tournament. So again it was not an upset for 15 also, right? It was not an upset till third round. In fourth round, 16 players played. The sum of ranks would be 17. So here sum of ranks would be 17. So in that case 15 would have played 2. Sum of rank 17 means 15 would have played second player, right? So 15 would have played second ranked player, and he would have beaten this, right? So this is an upset for this tournament, right? So I want minimum number of upsets. So minimum is I always see that whatever part upset is done by 15, that only I'll take in the whole tournament, right? I'll not consider any other upsets because I want minimum number of upsets. So already player 15 winning the tournament, he has to do some upsets, right? Because he is not the highest ranked player. So that would be the minimum number of upsets, right? So in fourth round, 15 versus 2, 15 is the winner. Similarly, so in next or the fifth round, in fifth round, there were 8 players, right? Sum of rank is 9. So obviously 15 would have played some higher ranked player. Again, it's an upset here also. Okay. In sixth round, it's semi-final, 4 players. Again, 15 would have played higher ranked players, right? Because I'm not considering any other upset in the tournament. So I'm expected that in the top 4, apart from 15, there are a top 1 to 3 ranked player like that, right? So I'm not taking any other upset because I want minimum number of upsets. So 6th round also he need to win, okay? And then 7th round, that is final of only 2 players, that also he need to win. He need to beat a higher ranked player because I'm not taking any other upset because I need minimum number of upsets, right? I'm repeating it once again. I want minimum number of upsets, so I won't take any other upset into account, okay? So only 15 is doing upsets in the tournament. I'll consider that. So he will do the upset how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So 4 is the answer. So C answer is 4. Okay, that friends a very good set on LRDI because this number generally in normal sets, this is in form of 2 raised to n. Here it was other than 2 raised to n. So I hope you can tackle all such different questions, right? Wherever it is not in the form of 2 raised to n. Okay. Thank you for watching. Any doubt? We're always open, right? Open to discussion. You can post in my Facebook group. Okay. Any doubt you have, or if you're part of our WhatsApp group. Okay. We have the groups G1, G2, G3 like that. Okay. So any group you are part of, right? We have the link in our description, YouTube description. You can join that WhatsApp group or Facebook group. You join. Post any doubt, right? We'll clear it same day. Try to clear it same day. Okay. Thank you for watching.